The sun was already high when Jake wiped the grease from his hands and sighed. Another long day at Mason's Auto Repair. The small-town mechanic shop barely made enough to cover rent and bills. Still, Jake worked tirelessly, not for money, but for the promise he'd made to his late father: always help those who need it, no matter what. That promise had kept him going for years, even when times were rough. It was a quiet Thursday afternoon when a faded blue sedan rolled into his shop, coughing and sputtering like it had run its last mile. Behind the wheel sat a young woman, nervous, flustered, and clearly fighting tears. Jake wiped his hands again and walked over. "Hey there, ma'am. Looks like your car's seen better days," he said with a small grin. She managed a shaky smile. "Yeah, it just died on me a few miles back. I'm on my way to a job interview. I don't know what happened." Jake popped the hood and took a look. A burst radiator, leaking oil, and a nearly dead battery. It wasn't a quick fix. "This will take a few hours," he said. "You can wait inside if you'd like." She hesitated. I don't really have much money right now. Could you maybe just look at it and tell me what's wrong? I can come back next week to fix it when I get paid." Jake paused. He saw the desperation in her eyes, the same kind he'd seen in his mother's eyes years ago when she struggled to raise him alone after his father's death. Without another word, he nodded. "You'll make that interview. I'll fix it right now." Her eyes widened. "But how much will it?" Jake interrupted softly. "Don't worry about it. Just get that job. For the next 3 hours, he worked relentlessly. Sweat dripped down his forehead, his arms stained with oil and grease. He used spare parts from the back of the shop, things he'd been saving for paying customers, but something in his heart told him it was the right thing to do. When he finally turned the ignition, the engine roared back to life. The woman clapped her hands to her mouth, eyes watering. "Oh my God, thank you. How much do I owe you?" Jake smiled faintly and shook his head. "Nothing. Just pay it forward someday." She tried to insist, but he wouldn't take a dime. She finally thanked him one last time, got into her car, and drove off, leaving behind the faint scent of worn perfume and gratitude. By sunset, Jake was locking up the shop. His stomach rumbled, he hadn't eaten since morning. As he walked toward his old truck, a black luxury SUV pulled into the lot. A tall man in a sharp suit stepped out, looking around. "You Jake Mason?" Jake blinked, confused. "Yeah, can I help you?" The man smiled faintly and extended a hand. "My name's Richard. You helped my daughter this morning, fixed her car when she couldn't pay." Jake's brow furrowed. "Your daughter? Oh, the young lady with the blue sedan." Richard nodded, his eyes warm but serious. "She called me crying. Said a kind man saved her day when no one else would." Jake chuckled lightly. It was nothing. Just part of the job." But Richard shook his head. "It wasn't nothing. You see, my daughter was on her way to an interview at our family's company. She didn't tell you that, but she's been trying to prove herself without using our name. Because of you, she made it on time, and she got the job." Jake smiled, genuinely happy for her. "That's great news. Tell her congratulations." Richard took a deep breath and reached into his coat pocket, pulling out a white envelope. He handed it to Jake. "What's this?" Jake asked, confused. "Just open it." Inside was a check. Jake froze when he saw the number, $50,000. His hands trembled. "Sir, this must be a mistake. I can't accept this." Richard placed a firm hand on his shoulder. "You didn't charge my daughter a dime. You fixed her car when you barely make ends meet. Consider this an investment in good people, the kind this world desperately needs." Jake stared at the check, his voice barely above a whisper. "I don't know what to say." Richard smiled. "Just keep being who you are." Before Jake could respond, the man walked back to his SUV and drove away, leaving the mechanic standing under the orange glow of the setting sun, tears pooling in his eyes. That night, Jake sat at his old kitchen table, the check still untouched beside his dinner plate. He thought about his father, about the promise he'd made all those years ago, to help others, no matter what. He realized now that kindness doesn't vanish into the world, it circles back, stronger than before. A week later, a new sign appeared outside his shop. Mason and Daughter Auto Repair, helping others, one fix at a time. Yes, he had hired the young woman, Emily, as his new assistant mechanic. She wanted to learn, to give back, to be part of the same cycle of kindness that had changed her life. And every time someone came in short on cash or out of luck, Jake smiled, remembering that one simple truth his father taught him. Real wealth isn't what's in your wallet, it's what's in your heart.